as Mrs. Yada Yada on Zala. Any comments, Mrs. Sembene?
Very insightful young girl, especially considering her age. But perhaps she should have read a little more, and maybe she would have understood the movie a little better.
Alright then, since we don't have much time, I won't ask what you mean by that, but oh, Mrs. Sembene, you make me laugh. Alright, I have a surprise for a nice young girl who, well, let's just say she's obsessed in a nice, not stalker way of you. She's actually in an English class of Dr. Huron's from Canada. So, we've actually brought her on right now, and she's about to meet you for the first time, obviously, unless you've met her before, which I don't think you have. So anyway, without further ado, let's bring in Christina from Canada.
Hello, hi. Thanks for having me on your show.
Welcome, welcome, dear.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited to meet you. I've been a big fan for a really long time.
Hi, Christina. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, for flying me all the way here.
Yes.
And
we actually
I like
paid
your
for your
beard.
flight, but
Yes,
that's okay.
yes, it seems like we have a massive budget.
Yes, we do. But anyway, Christina, what makes it so compelling of you to want to come all this way to meet Mr. Sembene? Like, what do you like about him?
well, I really like all of his movies. I read all of his books, of course, because they're all great.
Of course.
But my favorite movie is Black Girl, which is set in 1966, and it's about this black girl who moves from Senegal to Dakar, France, and she works with a couple as a maid. But then the whole movie is about immigration and how the immigrants, how they adjust to life in a different country. So the whole movie is just, she's signed for the whole movie, and then I don't really want to give away the ending,
Right.
but I will. Is that okay if I give away your ending?
No.
No. I'm going to anyway. So at the ending, she ends up committing suicide because she's away from her friends and her loved ones for the whole movie, and no one understands her. So it just relates back to the suffering of the immigrants moving to a new country. And that's that's my favorite movie.
That's awesome. That's great. Do you have any thoughts on this, Mr. Sembene, for meeting such a crazed, but in a good way, fan? It must be rewarding.
It is great to see that through the power of cinema, I can reach people all over the world, even in backwater places like Canada.
Right.
This is great to hear, and puts faith in me as a creative producer and agent of social change that I can actually be having an effect.
That's very true, and Christina is proof of this. One quick question for you, Christina, is it's a West African literature English course, right?
Yes, yes.
So obviously, do you study Mr. Sembene in this course, and how does the films relate to his course?
We actually haven't done a unit on Mr. Sembene himself, but we have studied some other African films. Obviously not as good as yours. Let's be serious.
Obviously.
Right, but
Because like the themes in Black Girl are, repression and exploitation of. She's basically a slave, right? So I'm assuming you would touch on slavery and like the Atlantic slave trade, because that's that's African history right there. So yeah,
we actually read we listened to a play by Jackie Kay, the Lamplighter, that also relates to slavery, which is just like your movie as well.
Those are all great works, even if some of them have not been made yet.
There you have it. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Excuse me, miss.
Hi.
You just saw the movie Zally. Can you tell me your thoughts on it?
It was really gross at the end. It was really gross. They spat on him. It was really disgusting, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was interesting. anyway.
Other than the spitting, it was good.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff in there like I've never like seen before. It was really different, I guess. It was different from a lot of movies I've seen, but yeah, it was really interesting.
And what do you think of the director? Yay or nay?
I don't really know too much about him.
Oh, that's okay. Just watch our documentary.
All right.
Hello, ma'am.
Oh, hi.
Hi. What movie did you just see here?
Black Girl by Sam Bennett.
Oh, and did you like it?
Oh, it was awesome. I really liked the themes that were in it, like the lines, imagery, money was a big theme. The one mask is really significant. I could go into it, but it was really good. And there's a lot of like symbolism in it. Even though there wasn't that much speech, it voiced a lot. It was awesome.
How many stars would you give it?
20 million.
20 million. That's a new record. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
What movie did you just see?
Zala.
And did you like it?
Oh yes, very good. Very
Can you tell me your thoughts on it?
I thought it was an excellent depiction of African cinema. It was excellent, just excellent. You just don't see enough of that. You just don't see enough of it. And it's good to be actually be embroidered in the culture. Very good, yes.
Would you recommend this movie?
Oh yes. Important to enlighten the youth.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
All right, well, welcome back, audience. I'm going to shoot this over to Christina, who's going to ask her most promised novelist that she loves a couple questions so she can get inside Sam Bennett's mind. Go for it.
Okay, so I just have one question that I've been dying to ask you. You've been such a big influence on my life, so I was just wondering, who has been an influence for you on your novels and your films?
Well, earlier on, I had, of course, the communist writers, but more specifically, those relating to African writers, like Achebe was obviously a massive influence on me. His novel, Things Fall Apart, has many notable similarities to my work in Black Girl, which, if you have seen both, you will probably notice. The main characters are both subject to foreign oppression, and this oppression acts on them to the point where both of them are forced to take their own lives.
That is great insightfulness. I didn't actually connect those two, so thank you for that. Christina, is there anything else or anything that you feel you haven't said that you want the people to know about you, Christina or Sam Bennett?
I just want to say thank you for letting me come here all the way from Canada just to meet you. You've been my hero for so long. I love you. And thank you.
All right, Mr. Sam Bennett, any closing thoughts for Go Feminism?
Go feminism.
All right. Well, that's our segment for men. They're not so bad. And as you can see, Mr. Sam Bennett is not so bad. He's actually had a great influence on African cinema and just in general for women's rights and just the human rights he's been able to evoke out of his films and his novels. So, thanks for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our show. Go Feminism, and stay tuned for next week for Women, We Are One.